What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So it's that time of year where I like to reflect, and last year I did this, which a couple of you really enjoyed. A lot of you actually enjoyed it, and so I decided to do it again. So I tend to do a series of probably like 4 or 5 different segments where I ask myself questions, and you guys can apply these questions to yourself too. And this is just kind of a way of trying to see how far you are from your goals, how close you are from your goals, whether it's, personal goals for yourself, um, goals with your mental health, with your self-care, career, friends, family, relationships, money, things like that. And so I go through a series of questions, and I can list them in the description box so you guys can take it upon yourself to read that. And then maybe you guys can kind of comment down below if you feel free to do so. Or maybe this is just an exercise that you can do for yourself. But I think it's just always important to kind of reflect on the year that you've had and just kind of see how you want to step into your new year. You don't want to step into the new year with old habits. That's one thing that I am not a fan of. Um, because old habits can kind of, steer you away from getting closer to the things that you want to do or where you want to be in life. So, of course, this is part one of my December reflections. I don't know if these are similar to the questions that I did last year, but it's always good to, even if they are kind of the same, this is something that you don't only ask yourself, you know, one year and then the next year you don't ask yourself. This is something, these are things that you should be asking yourself. Whether it's every month, if you want to reflect on the month, or at the end of every year, maybe quarterly. But anyway, so I'm going to go through a few things. And it's kind of fun to just kind of sit here and, think about all the things and the ways that my year has gone. Just like everyone else, I've had my ups and downs this year, emotionally, mentally, physically. So anyway, so we're going to get into it. I have a total of 6 questions that I like to write down and reflect on. And I also told you guys that I have begun a intentional December calendar for some self-care as well, which is something that you can probably find on Pinterest. It's probably the easiest way to find is on Pinterest. But anyway, so the first question was, what is my favorite memory of this year? So if I had gone on any trips, it probably would have been a trip, because those are always amazing to me because I get away, and I do things that I don't normally do in my day-to-day. But my favorite memory, I have to say, has been recently when I went to Philly to go see the Love Sign, because it's something that I always wanted to do. It's something that I've always wanted to talk about. And I did it for my 40th birthday. So this year, it was kind of cool. I didn't do what I wanted to do for my 40th, but that's okay. The fact that I, checked something off my bucket list that it may not be big to someone, but it's big to me because I want to become a traveler. Like, I want to be able to see famous monuments and things like that, different signs. I'm one of those people that I don't care if it's in New York City, even though I used to live in Connecticut. If it's something that I've never seen and it's something that I only see in movies or commercials or magazines, if I'm in front of it, I'm taking a picture of it, or I'm taking a video, or it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I can say that I've seen this. I can say that I've been here. So that infamous Love Sign in Philadelphia, there's that saying, the city of brotherly love. I thought that it was bigger than what it really is. Like, it's kind of, it says LOVE, but it's on top of a box, kind of, where you can just stand under it and take pictures. I always pictured it being a big statue in the middle of a courtyard kind of thing. At least that's the way that I kind of remember it. I don't know if it's always been this way. Maybe if any of you are from Philly, you guys can tell me if that's changed over time. But I gotta say, for this year, that's probably one of my favorite memories. So number 2, what have you learned about yourself? I have learned that it's a lot of things that I've learned about myself, but um, one of the things that I've learned about myself is that it's okay to give myself space. What I mean by that is I've talked a lot about having solitude and things like that, and sometimes like I would kind of sit by myself and I would never allow myself the time that I needed to think things through or to deal with things that I was going through. And I would kind of get antsy and I would just kind of want to do stuff or be busy or whatever. And so over time this year I've kind of learned how to make those times of alone time a priority, a necessity, because during those times is when I've had my mini breakthroughs. During those times is when I've understood certain things that may have been said to me, or things that I kind of knew, but I began to really understand them on a deeper level. Um, those are times where I've journaled, and through journaling, I have uncovered a lot of things. And I always tell you guys, there is power in writing physically things out instead of typing them out or just thinking about them. I do believe that there is a release that comes with writing things down. When you have a pen and a paper, writing things down, you are energetically letting go of things and releasing things. And so I've learned how to, I've learned that I have the power to be able to sit alone and to deal with myself and come out of it okay. So, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. It was a long time coming. It wasn't something that I've always done. I've always knew, but I would say within the last couple of years, but especially this year, it's definitely something that has changed me for sure. So number 3, who inspired you? I have a lot of people who inspire me. And this may sound weird, but, and I'm not saying this because I'm his girlfriend, but Tyrone definitely inspires me. He inspires me every day. Like, there are days where, we may have lazy days where we don't feel like doing anything. And there are days when he like jumps out of bed and just says, all right, let's get stuff done. And, sometimes it's to the point where I would even kind of want to linger around him sometimes a little too long. And he'll just be like, I got things to do. I'm like, okay. And, I've taken a lot of time to kind of sit back and just watch him be him. And it has inspired me to be, not that I wasn't driven before, but it has inspired me to be more driven. And it has inspired me to want more out of what I do for a living. It has inspired me to be more creative, with what I do, and to be more open and to step outside of the box, so to speak. So he definitely inspires me, but I also get inspired by bad situations. And what I mean by that is that this year, a lot of people that I knew or know have gone through some similar things, some different things, things that I've been through. And, you know, it's almost certain situations that I've seen certain people go through. It's almost like a mirror to me. When I can sit there and say, dang, you know what? They're going through the same thing that I went through. And they're going through the same emotions, the same mindset, the same thoughts, the same attitudes, the same breakdowns. Like, it's crazy. And it's like I'm looking through a mirror, and it just inspires me to be more of an inspiration because I've gone through certain things that I've seen people go through, and to watch them not know how to deal with something and remember that I was there too at one point, and they were the ones cheering me on all the way up to where I am now. And they're the ones who are proud of me and supportive of me. And when they go through stuff, it's almost like they don't see any of that because they're in it. You know what I mean? And it's hard because I I feel like there's certain things that you just can't talk to people about who haven't been through certain things. You know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things. But, I'm glad that when I speak, most of the time people listen. So, I'm inspired by good and bad because it allows me to kind of look at things in a different perspective and say, okay, you know what? That inspires me to be just more vocal about motivating, about inspiring people, about encouraging people because I've been through some stuff in this life, and I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still strong. I'm stronger than I've ever been, emotionally, mentally, um, physically. I'm in the best place I've ever been. Like, I really have nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? So, number 4, what would you have done differently? What would I have done differently? Um, it's tough because you always kind of find little things that you wish you would have done differently. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any big thing that I would have done differently because I feel like everything that has happened and that I have done has brought me here to where I am. But if I would have done anything differently this year, it would probably be um, probably to have started a bit earlier with dealing with certain things and having those moments of solitude. And, we all deal with stuff, and sometimes we still have things that we have to heal from, and that's okay. Healing doesn't come, with a handbook, so to speak. It doesn't have any time limit or anything like that. So, if I would have done anything differently, I probably would have changed the way that I took certain conversations. I probably would have um, changed the way I thought about certain things or my outlook on certain things. Maybe it would have saved me some stress. Um, let's see. I probably would have definitely, I probably would, I wouldn't say I probably would do, had done and still do a better job at how I receive certain things, if that makes sense. Okay. Number 5, what are you proud of? I am proud of me. I am proud of my growth. I am proud of my healing. I am proud of me being in a different place than where I was in the beginning of the year. I feel like in the beginning of the year, I was still deeply feeling certain things. I was still dealing with some healing, some traumas, and I'm at a point now where I feel like I am in a space. I'm in a space where I feel comfortable giving space when it's needed. Maybe one day you guys will kind of understand what I mean by that, because I'll break it down a little deeper, because it does have to do with some things of my past. But I will say that I am proud of my growth. My growth and my healing are the two things that I am absolutely proud of. And I'm a big believer in, as long as you are blessed to see another day and you are walking and breathing, you should really allow yourself to be a student of life. You don't know everything. There's always something to learn. Things are always changing. And I have learned how to, I wouldn't say that I was always a student, but I felt like there were certain things that were blocking me from learning certain things or perceiving them the way that I was supposed to. And so, seeing where I was, and I sometimes look back at my journal from the beginning of the year and just kind of read through or skim through everything that I've kind of written down, and I see the growth. And sometimes it's hard to sit there and be like, man, like I was never like that. Like, no, when you journal and you look back and you read those pages, you will sit there and say, oh, I can't believe that was me. I have grown, you know. So I am definitely proud of my growth and my healing for sure. And number 6, how have you changed? I feel like I have sometimes usually been a pretty reserved person, but outspoken. How have I changed? I want to say that I am more soft-minded. I'm not, quick to respond the way that I used to. Um, and sometimes I would respond from a defensive part that I didn't have to have. Um, and I've kind of learned how to just let that go. So I've changed in a sense that um, I'm softer and more patient, I feel like, and I am comfortable with, letting go and just allowing things to unfold the way that they should. I've told you guys I'm very big on prayer, and I do pray a lot, and I just believe that when sometimes you try to control things or you try to move things a certain way in your life and it just doesn't go the way you want to, you have to find a spot to say, you know what, I'm going to put that right here and I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to let it grow and see where it goes. And and that's with anything in life, you guys, anything in life. So I have definitely become more soft-minded, um but still strong. So yes, so those are the first 6 things that I can and will reflect on for 2022. Hope you guys do as well. I will put those questions down in the description box down below. If you care to share, feel free to do so. If not, use them for yourself. Use them as a journal entry. Use them to reflect on your own time. That's okay. But yeah, so this is part 1 of my reflections for December 2022. So leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!